Welcome everybody. This is the Scorpio full moon. So I'm Priscilla Hole, and this live Zoom reading is open for people to join the call. So at this point in time, it appears that I'm actually on my own, which is not a bad thing, but in the same breath, I guess, yeah, it's probably, it's an intense time, but it's also Monday morning. So I dare say that a lot of people are actually busy doing their thing, and that joining the call today is not necessarily something that they are able to do. So the Scorpio full moon is incredibly intense. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. So the Martian energy, I think I mentioned before, actually I'll backtrack a fraction. The Pluto energy that Scorpio is ruled by goes into our depths. It's about all the stuff that we keep hidden, all the stuff that we keep very private to ourselves. And then the Mars energy gives it a powerful intensity, which is different to when Mars is in Aries, because Aries is all about fiery, moving forward and being in a rush, whereas Scorpio is a lot more considered and slower. And so the Scorpio energy it's deeply intense as opposed to fiery intense. So watery intensity is the actual energy, and so of course, you know, Mars is a fire sign or a fire planet, but so it kind of heats up the water and makes that very steamy indeed. So Scorpio lovers, oh my God, what can we say? They're amazing. They're very intense lovers. So if you have Scorpio in your natal chart, then you'll find, especially around one of the three key planets of being either the sun, the ascendant, or the moon, then you'll have a lot of deep intensity, and you'll connect with people in a very deep, intense kind of way. Nothing's light and nothing's easy. In terms of, there's a beautiful depth that comes with a connection with a Scorpio energy person. So to keep moving forward then, I don't know about you, but leading up to this full moon has been incredibly full on. And yesterday finally had the bubble burst of a lot of things that I'd been believing that I was immune to, only to find that in actual fact they've been unfortunately ruling my world a little bit, particularly when it comes to connecting with another on a very deep level, and then finding myself remembering or reading my natal chart about Neptune passing through my 5th house, which is apparently the time that we all need to be looking at the moment, because it shows you, this full moon today will show you what is it that's still hovering that actually needs to be addressed. Because Neptune's a very dreamy planet, and whatever house it's in, it will be creating an element of illusion and where we disillusion ourselves. So have a good look at where that's at. That had a profound effect on me yesterday when I started to do some research, and all the emotion that had been hovering finally burst through. And I think what I did cry over quite distinctly, which actually gives me a bit of a chuckle now, but at the time it was intense, was that the Neptune transit through a house takes a really long time, and it's currently transiting through Pisces, and I think it started in 2011 and isn't due to finish until 2025. So part of me had a little panic attack and went, oh my God, when I'm looking at my chart, Pisces are tiny in comparison to the size of the house that it's transiting through, which means that the transit through my 5th house around connections, relationships, artistic endeavor, and all the rest of it, it's long, and I don't even know how long it's for. I have to go back and try and find some charts somewhere and see where it started for me and when it's due to end. So my tears were very funny on one level, because I started to cry about, am I still in this for how long? I mean, it's going to be at least another couple of years before it's resolved, and it could easily, if we're looking at 2018 now, and it's not moving out of Pisces until 2025, and if looking at my chart, there's still a few more degrees to go from that point, it could be 2027, 2030 before I'm through this transit. Oh my God, yeah. So that just made me cry even more, because it felt like it's a never-ending cycle. But now that I'm aware of it, the reality is I can actually shift this, and I can see it from a different perspective, and I can work with it instead of feeling like I'm at the mercy of it. So I really feel that's important to share. Have a good look in your chart. Where is Neptune transiting what house? And you might find that all of that has been pushing to the surface to be addressed. Now that you understand what you've been disillusioning yourself about, where your illusions are lying, have a look at what you can put into place so that you stay on track and actually address these things so that you have a more solid foundation in them, because this is what it's being highlighted at this particular point in time. And certainly for me, that's been the case. So today I'm going to draw a card for someone who hasn't been able to make the call. And also I'll draw, the first card will be for the collective. And then I'll draw a card for Lenka, who is in Ireland, and the time zones. I think it's from some crazy hour in the morning for her. So I think it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. So she certainly won't be up. Okay, so here's a card for the collective. Ta-da! What can I say? Beyond illusion. Okay, yep, this is it. This card and this time is what is going on that needs to have the illusion highlighted, and where am I disempowering myself? Where are you disempowering yourself around the illusion of what you think you should be creating, but in actual fact is not real? It's a bit dreamy, it's a bit floaty, it doesn't really have any, it doesn't have any roots in the ground. And this card here is really, really calling in the necessity to have a good look at where you're disillusioning yourself, where you're actually telling yourself lies in order to keep a particular scenario going when in actual fact it's not serving you. This is really important. And so then once we get, once we have our bubble burst and we start to see it for the illusion that it really is, then we can move beyond the illusion and actually start to, if we want to create something powerful, we ground it. But if it's not relevant anymore, we spend the next little time letting it go, which is exactly what the full moons can be all about. Seeing it for what it is and finally going, yep, that's not good anymore. It's really not helping me. Maybe it's time this can go. So I think this is a really powerful card, and I have to laugh. I think this is absolutely divine. So that's the collective card. And the next card is for Lenka. And here we go. Absolutely beautiful playfulness, Lenka. Time for you to let go of the control and have the fun and enjoy what's going on for you. You're coming into summer over there in Ireland. I mean, yes, it's spring right now and you're just shifting energies out of winter into spring. But now's the time to let go, have lots and lots of fun. And because the more fun you come into, the less control you're going to be stuck in, which means that you'll be controlled by externals or probably old internal patterns. And this can help let go of that, all those like restrictions and controls, and enable you to actually really enjoy the lightness and the playfulness that comes through with spring. This is a beautiful card, and it's a beautiful reminder to let the heaviness of winter go and start to dance, start to move and have fun and play, have lots and lots of play. So I think I might draw myself a card now, because since it's me and it's just all about me and my little crazy world that's going on here as I establish my business here. All righty. This is a heavy one for me. The burden. Okay, I can see this now. There's a part of me that's carrying old ways of thinking and possibly related to old stories that certainly has come to light, and they've actually been weighing me down. I can see that too, and I think it's important for me to have a good look at other belief systems and other stories I've been telling myself, and spend a little bit of time clearing and acknowledging them and releasing them, and recognizing too that, while I've had these belief systems, they've served a very real purpose, but it is time to let them go because they've been weighing me down. And interestingly enough, I don't know, you guys can't see this, but after having my massive awareness yesterday and my huge cry and all the stuff bubbling to the surface, I knew that it was time to cut my hair. So I chopped great big chunks of it off the back, and I've trimmed down the front, and I even made an effort to let go of other parts of my body with hair on my legs, hair under my arms, just because our hair is a massive it's actually the antenna with which we take in information and we hold it in ourselves. And sometimes we don't realize that those stories that we've been hanging on to are still there. They've been floating around for years and years. And I finally saw the reality of the fairy tale dream of being rescued. And that it's not real. It's a dream. It's a fantasy. It's not even imagination. It's a fantasy. And how do we, if we want to bring a relationship in or bring something in, it can't stay out there in fantasy. It has to be grounded with action. And that really came home to me, that I was still relating with someone in a particular way that was related to a fantasy, and finally seeing the fears that I needed to let go of, because they were hanging on. And these old stories, these old, I can't tell you how many romance stories I used to watch or read when I was younger. And, the fairy tales, it's stuck in here. And it's like, okay, time to let it go. So I got very clear yesterday, bang, cut the hair off. Oh, you can see it a little bit short at the back. And I think that's enough about my hair, letting go of my story. But that's what the hair does. It hangs on to old story. And so when we wash it, when we clear it, when we cut it, it's powerful to let go of the old story, because there's something being released when we cut it very consciously. So I'm in a very lucky position to be able to release that hair in a ritual coming up where I'm going to burn it when I go to a sweat in a couple of weeks. So something to think about when you're hanging on to old stuff. So the storyline at the moment is we are all having some kind of illusion bubble burst, and it's a perfect opportunity for us to actually step beyond that bubble, step beyond the illusion, and actually really allow ourselves to see things for what they are, and then probably learn to ground it. Okay, and then of course the next part of this is that as we start to have the bubble burst, the reality is it lightens us up. Maybe this card should come first. The burden card should actually come in first. Here we go. So we've got to lighten up, okay? There's heavy burden we're carrying and this playfulness. So we can have the playfulness when we actually let go of the burden. Stop carrying old stories. Stop carrying old belief systems that really don't serve you. This is important. I think we all need to remember this. So I think that that's going to be enough for today. There's 3 beautiful cards for everybody, and thank you very much for everybody who watches this. If you would like a personal reading, you're very welcome to contact me personally through Facebook or through my website. Happy to do readings. I also do readings with numerology. The Dan Millman Life You're Born to Live is an amazing process of looking at ourselves and doing numerology readings, something that I offer as well. If you're located in Brisbane, I do craniosacral therapy and psychosomatics, and that's an awesome way of letting go old story and helping our body lighten up and come back to a beautiful place of centering and grounding. So if anybody's interested in any of this work and even the intuitive mentoring, please let me know. More than happy to have a chat with you and see if there's something that we can work together on, because empowerment is my key story. It's about recognizing where we give our power away and how do we actually let go of old ways of being so that we can become naturally empowered. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks when it will be the new moon in Taurus. Wow, there's a couple of weeks' time we'll be holding that. Speak with you all very soon. Deep love, everybody. Bye.